Hey, good morning folks. Happy Monday. I just wanted to show you my walk to my studio. I have escorts. That's Big Boy our rooster, and that's Spaz our chicken. They walk me to my studio every single time I come over here, so I feel like I'm being followed. There's little Gray, and so yeah, those are my escorts. So happy Monday, folks. Good morning, folks. It's Wendy from Fingersticks Gallery again. So I'm kind of in a groove, I guess, with all these ring pours, wing pours. I go through phases. I'll do a bunch of swipes. I'll do flip cups. This time, I don't know, this time around I'm doing wing pours and ring pours. This is the very last one that I did. It's nice and dry now. He was a re-pour over an old canvas. So yeah, it looks really pretty. The gold color here is all metallic, or I think it was the rose gold maybe. But yeah, he's really pretty. He's all dry now. I also did another, and I haven't decided if I'm going to upload the video yet or not because I was kind of scatterbrained that day. I had a lot going on and I don't know, we'll see. But this was another chameleon. So what I did, I was doing a wing pour with these colors, didn't like how it was turning out, decided to swipe it and then do a chameleon. This area here, I actually did a heart. I dabbed the oil in a heart pattern. Didn't turn out. It was really odd. It was really inconsistent. You can kind of still see it, but I just tapped over it. So I used what I used last time on my other videos, the 9mm round holder, or what comes with your ammunition when you buy it from the store. That's what the rounds sit in. So, or quote, bullets for people that don't that aren't gun people. So that's what those go in. It turned out kind of neat. It's very random. It's very not the type of quality that I was looking for, but it was kind of fun. So I don't know, I might give it away to a little kid, maybe put their name on it or something. I don't know. Okay, so I decided to do kind of a darker one today. So I'm mixing up a little bit with the background. This background color is it's like a denim. It's more of a gray than denim, but I put a lot of blue in it. Basically, it was just, I think it was navy blue, white, and black. Oh, I did put a tiny bit of the folk art metallic in here because I want to give it maybe just a little shimmer, but this is the background. This is also going to be a little bit thicker than everything else I'm putting in here today. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. I know there's a lot of paint in here, so I'm going to take some of it out. But I'm mixing. That might be a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour, this is the copper metallic from Folk Art. It's a little, I don't know if you can see the consistency. The background color made a pretty good little hill. This makes a little hill and dissipates pretty quickly. This one is the Extreme Sheen from Deco Art, the pewter. So that's this one, and it's also the same, about the same consistency. Actually, it thinned up a little bit. Goodness. Everybody was the same consistency 5 minutes ago. So if you need to thin up your paint a little bit, do it. If you need to thicken, add a little bit more paint. The biggest issue that I've had in the past is the consistencies weren't the same in all of my paints. If they're too thick, they will tend to sink. So you have a big puddle of one color on the bottom if they're too thick. So get that guy mixed up. This is really pretty. I've never used the pewter before. Our local hardware store, the inventory is down really bad. They had a nice little selection of Deco Art paint. There was only 2 colors left. There was the pewter and then the Extreme Sheen sterling silver. That's the only 2 colors that were left, and I'm not sure what's going on, so I grabbed them. There, that's better. Okay. And then this guy it's just a mix. Oops. That's why we have paper towels. This one's a mix of, I think it's the Anita's Light Turquoise. And he's a little bit thick, so I'm going to add just a skosh of water. So this was already a pre-mix, so he does have Floetrol in him. But on my other videos, as I've said, I ran out of Floetrol. I ran out of Elmer's Glue All too, so however, I did manage to, I sat my Floetrol bottle up overnight and the glue all bottle, put a little water in it, shook it up. I managed to get, 30 mils of Floetrol and glue. So I could do something, I don't know. Our hardware store is about 45 minutes away from here, so it's that carries Floetrol. So anyway, and then I'm going to also add a little bit, shake it up. I'm going to add a little bit of the acrylic enamel. It's I just poured it back into an Elmer's glue bottle, so it's the Deco Art Satin Enamel. I'm going to add just a little bit straight down. One thing I haven't done very often, and I don't know if this is going to work out well. That's still pretty thin. I've seen other artists just pour straight down into their background color. They don't layer it, they just pour straight down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it. So the background color I am making just a little bit thicker than my other colors, just for the simple fact that I've never tried it that way before. And thicken him up a little bit too. And I don't know. I just want to show you, maybe different consistencies. So all the colors that I'm pouring into the background are going to be about the same consistency. But he's thicker, so okay. Thicken. Once you thicken up one, they all want to thicken back up. Yeah. Okay. Oh, much better. Okay. Oh, he was about the same anyway. Okay. So I'm just going to pour it straight down and see what happens. So I showed you the video this morning of my walk to my gallery. So we have property outside of, we're in Brewster, Washington, North Central, the desert side of the state. So we have some property and sheep and horses and chickens and dogs and cats, and we have a couple ferrets. Well, every single morning that I come to either my gallery or go to feed the sheep or whatever I'm doing, my chickens follow me everywhere. Big Boy especially. I raised him from a little chicken, from a chick. In fact, we hatched him here on the farm, and he just seems to want to have to follow me all over the place. So I already know I'm going to have a bunch of paint, so I may do 2 canvases. I already know that. That's why I dumped some of it out of the big cup. Okay, actually, I might just inject with that guy. Now I'm second guessing myself. Which I tend to do. I'm almost thinking maybe I should do this big canvas instead. Oh, what to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to be right back, folks. I'm going to go prep the big canvas. Okay, guys, I'm back. So we've got the 16 by 20 canvas. I have grown to really love these larger canvases. I'm kind of over the fear of doing the larger canvas, and now I really love doing them. So if I'm trying something new, normally I use the 8 by 10s, but I'm out of those too. So I'm just going to shoot up and go to the 16 by 20. Why not? Okay, so I've poured all of my paints in here except for the white because, well, I don't know. I'm going to probably inject in around the edges too. That's actually why I use the bottle, because it has that nice little tip on the edge. You can inject around wherever you want and just squirt it up underneath the paint. So, and I might have to go around the outside with the other background color because I did bump up the canvas size a little bit. Don't ever be afraid to do this, folks. I mean, all you're doing is using a little bigger canvas and a little more paint. It's the exact same thing as doing a small canvas. It's identical. Just more product. So don't be too scared to do it. Try it and you'll love it. All right, so I'm going to do just a basic ring pour. I might actually travel the ring pour down, so we'll see. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Actually, it's not more. It's, I guess I'm not doing a ring pour. I'm just doing a dirty pour. I was going to go around in circles, but since those paints are a little bit thinner, the ones that I put down in the base color, I don't want to make it muddy, so we're just going to pour straight down. Ooh, that's a lot of that background color. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm gonna let that sit for just a second, and I realized that my tip on my glue bottle is completely plugged up, so I'm gonna try to get him unplugged. There we go. So I learned a really cool trick about unplugging these tips, and that's use a paint can opener. You could just hook it and pull the tips right off. So if you ever get them plugged, it's a good idea for you. Okay, I'm gonna inject while it's still in a puddle. Oops, he went over. I might pour him off. So I got a little bit, I don't think I was tipping at as much of an angle right there, but that's okay. That is not a problem. So the extreme sheen also, apparently that also helps to make the billowing cloud effect. So we'll see how that works out. Oh, I'm losing some of those rings. I didn't get it quite wet enough on the background there. So I'm rolling over some of those really pretty rings, which I didn't really want to do. Yeah, darn it. I lost a ton of those pretty rings. Shucks. That's why it's so important to prep the back of your canvas, and I just didn't have enough background color to do it, but you live and you learn, that's okay. It was probably only $1 worth of paint anyway. Maybe a couple bucks. Not too bad. Okay. Now we'll stretch out those rings. So I like to do the pretty spots first, and I think it's really going to look pretty because I can tip the rest of it off. Like this gray, I don't like a lot of that gray on the bottom. I have my door open, so if you guys hear any weird crunching sounds, my dog is chewing on a stick outside, so it's too nice of a day to have the door shut. all the way over the corner. Come on. There you go. I already know what I'm going to name this. So we found a cedar waxwing baby bird. It was younger than a fledgling. It evidently fell out of its nest. We had a really bad windstorm. And so I found him. He was laying right in the route of where the sheep like to walk that goes right into their gate. And he was going to get killed. I mean, he was going to get stepped on. The parents were nowhere around. I couldn't find the nest. Anyway, so being the bird person that I am, animal person, I gave him a little bit of time before I grabbed him. I didn't know if the parents were going to come back, and they were nowhere around. So grabbed him, and we've had him since Thursday. Today's Monday, so he's doing really great. He's eating well. He's learning how to fly, yada yada. So we've been feeding him a lot of berries because they like berries. So the blueberries, I'm sorry to be rude, folks, but this area looks just like the cedar waxwing baby poop. So, all right. So I'm going to torch because I see a bunch of bubbles and I see a really ugly little booger right there. So, trying to think and do things at the same time. So the metallics are a little bit tricky too, because if you thin them too much, they turn muddy. That was the issue that I was really wondering about, and it did turn a little muddy, but considering it almost looks like granite, kind of, or I don't know about granite, some sort of gemmy type shimmery rock. It's really pretty. So I'm gonna torch it, get those bubbles out. And yeah, because I injected with the white, it's going to bring up some of the white bubbles, but I'm not going to cry about that too much. And I see another booger. I think I just buried him. He's probably fine. So, all right, I'm going to bring you guys in for a close-up. So it's really pretty. Sorry about the glare. I know I've been pricing lights lately, so... anyway, it's really pretty. It's very organic. Down here kind of looks like turquoise a little bit, turquoise and copper. So that's really, really pretty. So yeah, I really love it. It turned out neat. It turned out a little different than I was expecting, but it has a lot of personality and it's so different from the top and then this area down here. So hope you guys like it. It just goes to show you that you don't always plan, you could plan ahead, but things always change. And if it does change, that is absolutely okay. And there's Odie. There's Big Boy keeping me in line, apparently. So until next time, folks, hope everybody has a great week. And please don't ever be afraid to be a beginner. Try it. If it doesn't work, you can scrape it and try it again. Nothing is ever a failure. Don't forget that. All right, folks. Love everybody. You'll see me soon.